What's going on, everybody? How you doing? Good morning. Welcome to Tanko Tuesday. Yeah, I don't know. Closest thing to Taco Tuesday. But I guess I could have used Talk O Tuesday. Who knows? It's all in good fun, anyways. Morning, Nano. Nano. It's kind of a chill Tuesday morning here in beautiful North Texas area. It has been pretty dreary the past couple days, pretty overcast, and the chill came in, which was odd because Saturday it was like 80 freaking degrees out here. It was crazy, and now we're in um, 40s, and I think overnight it's supposed to get in the 20s. So, what do you do? What up? I'm going to say Vino for short. That way I don't have to worry about getting the S and the K, the ski or yeah, yeah. Vino, what's up? Tanko Tuesday. Yeah, like I said, this morning when I woke up and I was trying to remember to post everything and schedule it, um, I just came up with Tanko Tuesday. It's fun. I know most people are probably working, lurking, if they can get away. Hopefully, the consistency will be a little bit more stable. Yeah, that's the right wording. But I figured we'd talk about water changes because I'm doing them. So I figured, pick a topic. Let's talk about water changes. Some people do them, some people don't. Um, some people do big water changes, some people just do top offs, which I don't really consider a water change. And so I think overall, besides everything else um, involved with keeping aquariums, the definition, it's a loose term. Man, life is more fun with instability. Yes and no. um, what did my buddy used to call it? Because I used to say back in the day, okay, when I was in my 20s and I had my job and I had my kids, they were young back then, and I had my band and we had rehearsals and we had our girlfriends and life, right? How did we navigate the chaos that we had back then? It was chaotic when we started gigging like every other night and practicing, and then kids and family and jobs. Um, but we did it. And I think back and I look at now older, and I asked him about 10 years ago, I was like, how did we do it back then that we did everything? And it seemed like it was smooth. And now that we're older, just a little bit of a hiccup in our um, routine, and it goes, blah. So I learned to embrace the chaos and not let it affect me anymore and just go with the flow, man. Go with the flow. It's just like I'm noticing more on the streams, okay? And I've noticed it in life, not just on the streams, but my forehead is growing and it keeps on growing. As much as my hair is growing, my forehead is growing. So, where my hairline used to be over here, it's gone. That's why for the past year I have considered just and shaving it all off and going back to how I used to, because I either have my hair long like this or I have it buzzed. I don't know. There we go. FFL, what's up? I like this hat. It's a really, really nice hat. I got it. Was it last year's Uncle Shella? I think so. Talk to Manny. I need to talk to Manny again. But yeah, that was pretty cool. Nice hat. So I keep it. Anybody else got one of those? I don't know how many they had, but I know they had them the very because I of course talked to Manny the whole time, even during setup and everything. But I remember going up there first thing and grabbing a hat because I like blue. Blue's my favorite color. But anyways, back to water changes. Squirrel. Um, yeah, back to the water changes. I don't know. I think it really depends on what you're comfortable with. It depends on what you have in your tank. It depends on the size of the tank. There's so many different things. So creating a routine, you know, on how you, like back in the day before I did this, usually my Saturdays, because that was my day off. Usually my Saturdays, I'd get up in the morning and start cleaning all of my tanks, doing water changes. And most of them I did about a 25% to 50% water change. Um, and I used regular tap water and added whatever safe, prime, chlorine remover, stress coat. I did all that stuff back then. I didn't have any issues. I really didn't. Come to think about it, honestly. All my shrimp were breeding, all my fish were breeding. So I never really paid much attention to it. I just did it kind of out of it, just seemed to me that that was the right thing to do. I do it differently now. I may do it. It really depends on my tank. It depends on what's going on with my aquariums. It depends on the evaporation. I've noticed that in colder temperatures, there's a lot more evaporation. Um, I don't use lids on my aquariums. So, yeah, that doesn't help. What do you guys do? I mean, it's what works for you, right? Like for example, my 20-gallon long with my PRLs in it, my main colony. Um, I do pretty significant water changes comparatively. I probably do about a 30% water change once a week. Um, and that's because right now I'm thinking it's because I have such deep substrate. It's been in that aquarium for so long. And there are literally 1,000 shrimp in that aquarium. I think the water changes help it. It helps the shrimp. I mean, they're breeding. They breed like crazy. The picture I used on the thumbnail is from that tank. So, but that tank is, like I said, it has 1,000 shrimp. So I do more water changes versus what I would do in my 10-gallon tanks that maybe only have 50 shrimp in them. Those probably maybe a 5%, mostly just a top off with a little bit of removal of water. Just depends on how it looks. and how the shrimp look. And if I need to get out to try this from the bottom, I'll do it specifically with my little siphon hose that's just a rigid tubing. Joestan, good morning. I got my coffee. Excuse me. Coffee's good. I noticed I drink coffee a lot now. Like I drink it in the mornings until about noonish, maybe one, and then I'll switch to whatever I drink throughout the day, whether it be tea, water, or Coke. Shame on me, I know, but I still drink Coke. Um, and then in the evenings, I try to wait till about 9:30 ish, but then another pot of coffee, and I've got to have a couple of cups of coffee before I go to bed. It's just one of those things, you know. Anybody watch that joke of a game the other day? Coffee then water, water, water. Yeah, I get it. I just, you know, I'm not I'm not as concerned with the other things like I used to be. After everything I've been through with my heart stuff, I learned a lot about um, my diet and how it affects me and what they thought was wrong with me in the past that it was not. In other words, they used to think I was diabetic, but I learned a lot about my heart condition that creates false readings when it comes to blood sugar and all that stuff. So I still indulge. You only live once, you know. I pay for it. I pay for it in many ways, whether it's I drink Coke and it gives me heartburn, and I pay for it that way, or I drink too much coffee and I have to, utilize the services, the loo. Have to utilize the loo. Oh yeah, I've been saying that for years now. How the commercials has just devolved. It's some of them are okay, you know, they're worthy of being a Super Bowl commercial, but most aren't. And yeah, I don't even watch the in betweens and the befores because I don't relate in any way, shape, form, or fashion to all of that. I just don't. Now, if it was a bunch of rock and roll bands and, you know, I don't know, Motley Crue and Metallica and stuff like that, then yeah, I'd probably be digging it. But this stuff they do now, it's nonsense. You indulge in fermented fruit and grains. Yes, yes, you know, it's crazy how you can see the AI and it just to me, I don't know, it just I give me regular. I just the AI is a little too much. I don't know what it is. It's over. It makes it seem cartoony. No matter what, it makes it cartoony. Indulge in the loo. Yeah, coffee sometimes makes you um indulge in the loo. But that's not how we use the word indulge. I don't think. Um I'm just gonna drink my coffee. That was funny. But yeah, the game itself, of course, I don't really get into the NFL anymore. I stopped I stopped really paying much attention way back in the day, especially like early 2000s. And then it just got worse and worse to where I got disconnected because I was paying so much attention to hockey and just became a hockey fanatic big time. Um, and it's so cool when I think back now that how I switched, and my boys never really, my 30-year-old children, my son just turned 31 today, my second son. Um, he turned 31. Yeah. No, I'm old. Yeah, 31. Okay, crap. I'm getting my children confused. One was in 92, the other one was in 94. So my second son is turning 31 today. And he never watched football with me. He watched hockey, and I went to hockey games every year. I at least went to one live hockey game. Hello, shrimp. But we went to hockey games, and so he grew up a hockey fan, and he became a huge Dallas Stars fan along with me. And now he does analytics, so that's kind of cool that he's working with the Stars. He's been going and training the analytics team with the Stars on how to do stuff, and he works with the Carolina Hurricanes. It's pretty cool stuff. It's cool to see how we turned the hobby into something he's digging, he enjoys, he loves it, and he's making money do it. And he gets to write articles. He's got, I think, 10 games in the season for the Dallas Stars where he watches the games, does the analytics, and then after the game is done, he writes a after game, recount, replay, but on the website. It's kind of cool too. My daughter got into football because of Swifty. Oh no. That's funny. Wait, let me see.
I love shrimp. Who else loves shrimp? I love shrimp. Who else loves shrimp?
That's the one cool thing about StreamYard is it still has my stuff. My stuff from back in the day. All my little videos. That's why I used it as an intro. It makes it easy now. Just set as intro and go live. So, okay. I guess I should work on making an actual intro video. I never really thought about it. Well, yeah, I have, but too much squirrel. That happens a lot with me. I know. Did anybody check out my new video I posted? It was kind of cool because I haven't really played my drums at all in the past couple of years since my surgery, and really didn't have a way to. Once I moved out of the cabin, then my drums were in a closet, so we jam every once in a while. So when we got to play, and we recorded it on my buddy's GoPro, and I don't know if anybody does recording on a GoPro, but those things, they do it does chapters. So apparently the GoPro can only do 4 megabytes at a time. So while we play, it skips and starts a new chapter in the middle of us playing. Well, he gave me the little CD or the little mini disc, and I brought it so I could compile it and put it all together continuously. But oh my God, it was so difficult to put everything together. I tried to follow the numbering system that it had, and it was kind of helpful, but not really. I had to listen to the end and the beginning and then put things together. but it ended up being an hour and a half of us jamming. And out of that hour and a half, we probably spent an hour of it talking. No, 45 minutes of it talking. Yes, my drums are out of the closet, Joseph. Well, actually, not right now. Right now, they're in the closet over here again, but they've been coming out to play. They've been out to play once this year. Once this year, I think, or maybe twice. Maybe we did get together not too long ago. Yeah, we did. So twice they've been out this year. So that's pretty good. I played, I think, just as many times this year as I did last year. It was pretty cool. Hi, Lori. And but I did the video yesterday because I was like, there was one of the songs that I did a actual video, the studio recording, and so I wanted to do a live version of it because it's not too bad. The bass player, he's been with us since. Woof. So it's funny. He was with us in the 90s. He was with us when we did our big rise in the 90s. And then he started his own band with another guitar player from another band and the drummer that I was giving lessons to. And they started a band. Well, later on, the guitar player that joined his band ended up being our bass player that recorded on our studio version of that song. Yeah, funny stuff. But so that was kind of cool. But it was a fun video, and it was nice to actually hear myself play or watch myself play. And not too bad for an old guy and not playing very much. So it's kind of like riding a bicycle. But the part you don't see in the video is the part where I had to stop playing because my back gave out. And I'm like, I'm done. I can't play anymore. Yeah, I know. And I'm trying to keep, the drum stuff separate from the aquarium stuff. So that's why I have another channel. I think it's I think it's finally up to like 19 subscribers on it. But I need to do more stuff with my drums. When I look at what I do with aquariums and my shrimp stuff, you know, I consider myself, I'm a mad scientist. I'm just, don't listen to me kind of thing. But I'm doing stuff and it's working for me. Um, when it comes to drums, I've been doing that since I was 7 years old. So I'm I'm well in tune as far as it comes with the drumming aspect of things. So that if I could just focus and put some stuff together, I could do things with my drumming channel that as far as being able to teach and at an expert level confidently, not like here where I'm still learning with everybody. Hi Debs. Woohoo! We got 11 people. Thank you, thank you. Last week was fun on Wednesday doing the giveaway. That was pretty cool. So I'm sending Carrie, Science Gal. She opted instead of the PRL. She wants some blue Neos. So I'm going to send her some blue Neos and some. I think she asked for some Wasser Tank. And J&N Aquatics is getting 10 PRLs. And I think he asked for some Wasser Tank too. And then the T-shirt winner happened to be SC Catahoula. So I got to send all of this stuff. I didn't ship the shrimp today or this week because of the weather and the weather up north. So I wanted to let everything slide a little bit, and then I'll do that. Yeah, you missed the giveaway, Joe Stan. I know Wednesday nights. I don't know. I'm guessing maybe it's still date night or whatever, but yeah. Same old bat time, same old bat channel. And it's always inconvenient for you. I know, I'm sorry. But it was pretty cool. And that's why, like I said, I use StreamYard, and I'm probably going to next week go back to OBS. But because of the giveaway and because of the ease of everything and because of learning that you can do multiple cameras in StreamYard, it's just maybe it wasn't in the basic version or the free version where you can't do that, but you can with this trial version of the whatever upgraded account status, pro account, I don't know, whatever. But it was free, so I decided to try it because I could do multiple cameras. Yeah, I know. That's what I was saying. This weekend, it was freaking hot. I went to go see my grandchildren Saturday morning. I'm thinking it's going to be, chilly. No. I mean, we were sweating outside. My poor grandkids, we took them to the park, right, at about, 11-ish, 10:30-ish, 11 in the morning. We took them to this park that they have out there, which is pretty cool in Grand Prairie. Um, right next to the Bass Pro Shops and IKEA and an indoor water park and a rock climbing facility. It's a pretty cool little area there in Grand Prairie that's exploding. But anyways, we go there and kids are running around, and it's like multi-level. So they go up to the top level so they can go down the slide and run back up the stairs. They do that like 2 times. And then my little one, the 3-year-old one, he climbs back up the ladder, slides back down, and starts running, and then slow. Got to the stairs, got halfway up the stairs, and sat down. And that was it. So for about 10 minutes, the kids ran around like crazy, but it was so hot and everything. He ended up sitting in a little spot under the shade. He was done. He was ready to go home. And then we turn around, and now and it's going to be in the 20s tomorrow. What the crazy weather stuff. Anybody look up in the sky and catch the planets and the moon and everything? It looked pretty cool. Out here in the country, I live in the closer to the city part, but when I go out there to the old property, get away from the city lights, it's beautiful. It's beautiful looking up in the sky, seeing all of that. And I think there was supposed to be a meteor shower. Isn't it coming up, or did it happen? Or maybe it's tonight. But it's cloudy outside and rainy, and it's supposed to be 25 tomorrow. Oh, wow, cool. Look at that. Jerry rig. That's a bunch of music I do by myself, like, because we're a metal band, obviously. My band, X is Red. And when I go there, and sometimes I write stuff that's really not metal, it's more my crazy mind. That's why I call it Jerry rigged music. And it's an experimental music. So it's all kinds of stuff. I have fun with it. A lot of the stuff I come up with when I'm writing, get stuff on the guitar, just fiddling around on the guitar, because that's what I do in between playing drums and playing with aquariums. Is I fiddle around on my guitar and I write stuff. The son that I was talking about that does the stats for the Dallas Stars, I taught him how to play guitar, and now he has like 2 guitars. One of them's like a $10,000 guitar. More. It was like, I think 12,000 when I looked it up on the internet. And then the other guitar he got for Christmas is like an $8,000 guitar that I saw on the internet. I don't know what he paid. He wouldn't tell me, but so he's wicked badass on the guitar. It's pretty cool. Hey, JNN, I was just speaking about you. I haven't sent your shrimp yet. I'm waiting for the weather to pass. Probably send them next week, and I'll get them to you. It's all good. Haven't forgotten. But yeah, my jerry rig music, that's what it's just me. Stuff that I come up with that I take to the band and I say, hey man, check this out. And they go, yeah, whatever, blah, blah. It's drummer riff. Okay. So I bring it home and I mess with it, and then I transpose it to the computer, or I play along with it and I record and add drums and I make music, and I have fun. I don't write very many lyrics, because when I do, like I did the other day, I wrote some lyrics down that came to my head, gave them to my lyricist, guitar, best friend, brother. I gave him the lyrics, and oh yeah, I was thinking it should go like this, and I'm like, no, this is why I wrote it, because it's gonna go like this. And he was like, no, I hear this. Darn it. But we'll figure it out. The older we get, the more harder it is to write songs together. Like back when we were young, we just throw them together and yeah, that's cool, and move on, and then write another one, and then we'd write song after song. But it seems like the older we get, it's like, oh, it's got to be perfect. It's got to be like this. It's got to be no. It's got to be like this. Let's just jam, dude. Cool, cool. Dude, Joseph's taking us to the shower with him. Keep the camera off, Joseph. Off. There's a little button you can do like this. Yes, safety is the most important thing. I forget I could do this stuff like that. See it popping up. I should redo my banner so that way the the words fit properly without. And I need to make me smaller here. Wait, let's see. I wonder what it's like if you go. You could do that. You could do that. The shrimp cam. But there's no shrimp cam right now. Got to get naked and wet. Shh. We don't want to hear about that. That's fun stuff. Look at that. Look at that. How dare you? Yes, hit the like. Hit the thumbs up. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. And like I said, the more I get on here more consistently, whatever, maybe people will see and come on. But I am still gonna be doing the Wednesday night 7 o'clock stream, keeping it shrimple. Um, and then follow up on Thursday. And hopefully start maybe getting some people. See, what I'm trying to do is cover my bases. If I do some streams during the day, maybe there'll be more people available to jump on with me that usually aren't available in the evenings, and then vice versa. In the evening stream, I can get people that are too busy that are working during the day to come up there. You know, I'd love to have somebody else besides just me to stream with. And I know you probably would too, because I probably get boring. It was fun the other night on Sunday being on M&C Aquatics Wave Maker stream. That was pretty cool. Garcia! Yes, clean off the dirty. That's much better. Much better. 15 people, cool deal. Working and lurking or luncheon and brunching? Brunching and luncheon. That's what it's got to be. Brunching and luncheon. Because hopefully people are starting to go to lunch right now. What a concept. I got my food yesterday. So check this out. The other day, Thursday, I realized I need some shrimp food. I ran out of my baby shrimp food. I ran out of my complete envy and growth envy. I still have some shell envy, and I still have the Monteclair. But I needed some regular shrimp pellets and food and baby food because I'm completely out. So on Thursday, I get online real quick. I go to their website. I find the foods. I order it. I put my order in, and it says confirmed. Your order has been received. And about 2 minutes later, it says your order has been shipped. Monday in the mail, there's my shrimp food. Extremely fast. It was amazing. I texted Rob immediately and I was like, dude, that was badass. I ordered my food and then I'm getting the email that it shipped. He was like, yeah, we were packing orders exactly at the time your order came in. So perfect timing. So that worked out pretty cool. I use the cobalt shrimp sticks and they tear that stuff up. Yeah. I mean, I just love the shrimp envy foods for the price, the amount that you get, and it doesn't dirty up my tank. I rarely ever do I see, even if a piece of food stays for a couple of hours, I don't see it decaying and getting all filmy and fungus looking, you know, like I do with other shrimp foods that I've used in the past. To me, it's one of the cleanest foods as far as it doesn't muck up my aquarium in any way. The shrimp usually, if I put food in there, it's gone, whether it's in 10 minutes or 30 minutes, but I never have to worry about removing uneaten food. Maybe I feed the right amounts or something perfectly every time. Yeah, right. But I love shrimp envy. Good food. Shameless plug, and I don't care because I love Rob and Reed to death, and I support their product. You know, and trust me, I'm as skeptical as anyone when it comes to that stuff. And before I, uh, before when I first got familiar with them back in what 8 years ago, whatever, I was kind of like, I don't know about this. I'm still gonna get, the popular stuff, the name brand stuff. I'm gonna pay an exorbitant amount for this stinky ass food. Yeah, shrimp dinner is one of the smelliest foods ever. Don't leave the lid off of the food. Don't leave any little crumbs of food laying out. Just, horrible stuff. Good for the shrimp, I would imagine, maybe at the time, but I love shrimp envy now. That's all I use. And Bacter AE. I still use Bacter AE, but not shrimp dinner. They come from the same manufacturer. What's the name of what? I'm sorry. I don't pay attention. I need somebody to tap me on the shoulder. That's why it's good to have a guest. Hey man, you missed a question. Me and Brian were good with that about like, hey, somebody just said something and you're by yourself and blind like me. I did get good news today that I am now. It's good news if you're old like me, but the veterans are hooking me up. It's nothing major, but it's nice to know that it wasn't all for naught. Um, so yeah, I got my confirmation letter that ta-da, you are broken. We confirmed that you are broken. Yeah. Here's a little money. You wanted to buy shrimp and food, but not sure which to buy. Yes. Or to try. They have a sample pack, which is really cool that they're doing it now. And I remember asking them about that one time, and they were working on it, or they did it different ways. But now they actually sell little sampler packs, and they also sell I don't know what it's another little version of a sampler pack, but they have two different versions of the sampler kind of pack, starter pack. Um, you never go wrong with shrimp complete because that's just the complete overall food. It's really good. They do have all the other. I think they have like bee pollens and etc. etc. Their shrimp sticks are good. I mean, everything they have is good. Your shrimp will love it. But I use complete. I use growth envy, and of course, I use the baby envy and shell envy every once in a while, maybe once a week or once every 2 weeks. I like to use some shell envy. Um, Maybe every 5 days or so, I'll do growth every day in my tanks that have shrimplets, which is pretty much all of them. I use a little bit of baby envy depending on the number of babies. I might use a little bit more or less. And then pretty much every day, I'm feeding a little bit of complete. And I know that seems excessive. I used to be the guy that says, don't feed your shrimp, barely feed. It's just a supplement, small amounts, small amounts. But I have a lot of shrimp and I make sure I feed them something because they eat it. I wouldn't feed them if they weren't eating it. So if I see a tank they're not eating the food as fast or whatever, no, I don't feed that tank as much. But every day I'm putting something in my tank somewhere. What percentage I get? Nothing. I don't get any percentage. Trust me. I wish I did. That would be kind of cool. Like, here, here's some foods. I make hints and everything, but I know they're small business. I mean, they're my friends too. So if anything, I want to support them more than take from them, if that makes any sense. So I don't deserve any giveaways or freebies, etc., etc. If I want to get stuff to give away, then I'm sure they'll sell me a deal. They'll give me good pricing if I want to do, and definitely if I go wholesale with them, I could vend their products. Because I even said something to Rob about that. I'm hoping to be able to get a little order from him so that I could sell at the expo next month that I'm going to be selling at. I'm very envious. I haven't been really interested since I just have the clear wild type Neos, but I'm getting some colored ones for other tanks. Yeah, just get the complete and it'll last you forever. I promise you. You'd be surprised how long the stuff will last. Don't I mean because I don't take a whole pellet and chunk it in there, except for my 20 long. My 20 long is the only tank that will get a big chunk because it'll be gone in 30 minutes. There's so many shrimp in there. The other tanks, they just get pieces, and it depends on how many shrimp are in each tank. But more shrimp, bigger chunk. Cool deal. Have a good one, man. Thanks for stopping in. I'll get the shrimp out to you next week. Promise. But yeah, I mean, I in my overall setup, these are the things that have become the consistent things with me. Water changes, but they vary. So I don't really consider them water changes most of the time. It's mostly just top off and detritus removal. Um, then with that setup, the next best thing that's worked for me to keep my tanks clean to my liking, and working and productive, is using the shrimp NV foods. Those don't muck up my tank. The shrimp love them. They're healthy. They're vibrant. It's a great supplement to use without any worries. Everything's natural. That's what I love about it too. Um, Good stuff. And then the next, really, it's all about just maintenance. And my setups have been, my resets and setups have been going really good the way that I'm doing them now. It works the best for me, but I need to get a big aquarium and do the full substrate, aquascape, plants, everything, community tank, fish and shrimp. I want one of those. That's for me. That's, for me to enjoy and look at and play with, separate from what I do in my fish room. And I'm looking forward to when I can do that. But I'm focused on this now because I'm finally getting to a spot. Like yesterday, I cleaned out an aquarium and I filled it with Sawasser Tang and anchor moss. It's a bookshelf aquarium. So half of it's Sawasser Tang, half of it's anchor moss. And the tanks that I took the stuff out of still look full. I mean, I have a lot of moss. So I'm trying to get that fixed up. I'm trying to, getting ready for the expo. See, and this is what's kind of cool. I love, a buddy of mine gave me a push, Mark from Pile Aquatics. He gave me a push, and he was like, you need to go out there, you need to do it. Well, what it's causing me to do is to go through and make sure that I start organizing my clown killifish. Which ones am I going to sell? Which ones am I going to keep aside for Mark? Because I know he wants some, and I want to give him some really, really pretty clown killifish, because he said he's taking them to the national convention. So I got to do that and get my clown killifish organized. And then since I know I have tons of moss, I got to separate it, clean it. I want to make sure I don't sell a bunch of moss that has a bunch of snails or anything on it, clean stuff. I like selling, and I got to get out all my plants, all my Vallisneria, and start trimming and getting that group together and bagging it. So when I can bag it, then am I going to put it in cups? And then my shrimp too, and organize which shrimp am I going to sell, what shrimp am I keeping to breed, and get that all organized. So it's kind of cool. It's given me a lot to do, but it's all for somebody that's got like ADHD, like I do, apparently. Yeah, it's a squirrel. It's kind of hard to get things done sometimes. A squirrel. Yeah. So that's why, like I said, water changes. Every day I'm doing something, right? I'm pulling water out and putting it in. Some of my water changes, and depends on what, but not my shrimp tanks. Mostly not my shrimp tanks unless I'm cleaning stuff out. But what I'll do a lot of times is when I'm pulling water out of one of my tanks to do a water change, maybe a 30% water change or whatever, I'll use that water to fill up a tank that I'm cleaning. So that way I don't waste good clean water in that aquarium that I'm just going to clean and scrub and wipe the glass off or whatever, and muck it all up and suck all the water out with to wash it out. Now, I don't always do that. Sometimes I just empty the tank out and I go and wash it off. Empty everything out outside, wash it off. Soap and water I use Dawn. I believe what Master Dean says, and I've noticed it washes off super clean. Even a brand new aquarium. If you buy a brand new aquarium, wash that film off using Dawn, and it'll rinse off and dry off clean. Super clean. No film, no residue. And as long as you rinse it out good, you won't kill fish when you put them in it. It won't kill your shrimp. But, yeah. That squirrel. It's kind of fun doing all the stuff I've been doing. Yes. I'm learning how to use my water. Like I said, and sometimes, like I have one aquarium that's full of guppies and cold shrimp, neos. And that tank, I will use the tank on top that's full of my green shrimp, and I will empty the water out of that aquarium into the 20-gallon below. And then I'll refill the top aquarium with fresh water. And I don't mind doing that because I believe sucking out the seed shrimp and all of the little critters that are floating around in the Neo tank will help feed the tank below. So it's kind of a way to repurpose stuff. I don't do it with my Caridina tanks. I try. I don't do it with my Caridina tanks unless it's a situation where sometimes maybe I want to pull a little bit of water out that I know is clean. I know the tank is good. It's been cared for from setup. And I'll pull some of the water out to put it in a tank to seed it, with bacteria when I'm starting it up. But that's why sometimes it's hard to pull water out of a Caridina tank and put it in a bucket and throw it away because it's very clean water. It's just, I want to do a refresh. I want to freshen the water up in the Caridina tank a little bit. It may not be a whole lot. So, and I do have a big 100-gallon tub. So that is it's my catch-all, if that makes any sense. So if I empty out some water from one of my Caridina tanks, most of it, I know it's clean. It's just I'm pulling it out for whatever reason so I can do a little bit more of a top off. It might be a 5% water change. That water, I'll put it in my tub. Now, I'm not worried about what's going on in my tub that has neos, it has guppies, it has plants and moss, and it's the most beautiful thing that I've ever just filled up with water and let happen, and it's happened beautifully. So I do that a lot, but it's hard for me to get rid of water that is clean sometimes. Even though why am I pulling it out if it's clean, you ask? Well, because I just like to refresh the tank every once in a while. I consider it like a spring rain. Every once in a while, they get fresh water dumped in it, and the water gets flowed out. So it's kind of the same thing, just refreshing it a little bit. What color neos are you keeping at the moment? I have my blue neos that I'm working on. They're getting better and better and better. And my green ones. Of course, from the green ones, they have spit out a few of the orange ones. So I'm pulling out the orange ones, and maybe if those start to expand, then I'll have orange ones too. But everything that I'm doing from scratch. So whatever I started with 2 years ago is what I have now and what it's evolved into. I haven't purchased any, and I really don't want to, except for maybe if I want to do some projects. But blues and green, the greens are exploding, and they are no, not like we talked about that, but they're expanding up. I mean, they're all buried. Every single female is buried, and yes, I'm still trying to stabilize it, but it's getting better and better. Um, I already started another tank of green ones where I took out the greenest ones, the ones I don't know what the color, the marketing, whatever they're calling them, but there's some that are green that you can't see through the shell. It's just green shell, very, very dark, darkish green. And then there's some that have like a see through, somewhat greenish that still hasn't completely colored up. So I'm trying to separate and see if I can start, I don't know. I'm red green colorblind, so it's really odd for me. But now that I know what I'm looking at, if my son hadn't have told me they were green, I would have thought they were brown or something. And, who knows what I would have thought they were. But he told me they're green, Dad. He was like, "Holy smokes, they're green." Okay, cool. So now I know. Now I know what I'm looking at. But yeah, fun stuff. Squirrel. See, that happens to me a lot. Happens to me a lot. But that's what makes it fun. Makes it hard to do my fish room sometimes because I start, okay, this is what I'm going to do this morning. And then by the middle of the afternoon, I'm like, that's not even what I started off doing this morning. I need to write this crap down. I need to get better organized. I really do. It's just weird to be in this position and have this much time to get this organized when I'm so used to being at work, twiddling my thumbs, waiting to sell a shed. Yeah, yeah, not cool. Well, look, it's 11:59, so it's going to be your actual lunch, maybe, or lunch is over, or whatever. But I think we had a good chat. It was good hanging out. And I'm sorry I keep on having. I need to do that thing, to make, or I'll do like Pelham. I'll get me a, or maybe I can do like other people do. But then you'll see the top of my head all the time if I'm like answering and looking at my phone. Oh yeah. So I'll figure it out. It's all in good fun. Thanks for hanging out. I'm gonna do this real quick because I have to.
I love shrimp. Who else loves shrimp? I love shrimp. Who else loves shrimp?
And then I'm gonna leave you with the same thing I started with. Peace, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. Much love.